5% of the world's population have got ginger ale. It's a unique selling point. Don't anyone tell you any different? I think it might be 4% actually. Anyway. Oh yeah, I've seen you for a while. Are you well?
Yeah, good.
Good. Yeah, good.
We've got an influx from north of the border. Your written section maybe a bit longer.
Surprised at that.
So we'll do normal procedure, guys. TV first. Hi, Fraser. Once TV are finished, cameras off and written. Okay.
Sean, you well?
Yeah, good.
Good. First of all, in terms of the injury situation, what's the latest on Nick Pope?
He's at the op. So far, pleasing news in the sense the specialist was happy with what he found and what's been done.
Any sort of idea as to a timescale before he'll be back?
No, not yet. He was just really pleased, and when he went in, it was as clean as he'd hoped for. Because obviously on a scan, it's not as clear as seeing it with your own eyes. So, yeah, so good news on that. And I haven't spoke to Pope yet today because he was still recovering, but I'll speak to him later.
Does this game come too soon for Tom Heaton then, or is he likely to be?
Probably. We'll make a judgment call on it. We'll have to wait and see.
But you've got Anders Lindegaard there, obviously, experienced goalkeeper. Are you happy with your keeper situation in the sense that you've got those two that will probably be your first and second choice with Nick obviously out for a while? Or do you feel as if you might have to?
It's something we're aware of, obviously, and we're always open-minded, you know, to add to the group when we can, whatever department that's in. So that's an ongoing process, really. So if we think that there's something that would increase the competition levels within that department, then we'll look at it. So, you know, that's, and partly with the market, we all know how tough the market is, and equally for goalkeepers, you know, you need to get the right ones in. We don't really, or we attempt not to bring people in just for the sake of it. We bring people in who can affect the group, whether it's that department or any other, and or mature into the group and develop with us.
You mentioned the market being tough. We're getting closer to the deadline, obviously. What are your thoughts? Are you concerned at all that you've not brought anything in really yet?
I'm not. I'm not concerned. I think that's a different word. I'm just familiar with what's going on. You know, it's a never-ending story for us, really. You know, it is broken record time. We're a wealthy club of sorts, you know, but equally the club's in a shape where it continues to look after not just year one. And that makes it tough. You know, the books have to balance. The finance has to be there to do deals, and it does limit the pool that you're looking in. And the numbers are just crazy. They're crazy for any player. You know, it doesn't matter. You can ring for a Championship player, you can ring for a Division 1 player, and the numbers are just enormous. So it's certainly a seller's market. We're into a few situations. We've had one come and go, which we thought was done deal. It wasn't. We got told it was, and it wasn't. We've got another couple of deals that are pending, and we think we've got a chance on. But there's no guarantees. You know, we're not a club that can make it guaranteed, because we don't just add and just keep going and going and going until the number hits a number. We try and be fair with our market and what we try and do within it.
Interesting first leg, obviously, against Aberdeen. Are you expecting something similar this time around at Turf Moor?
I don't know. I mean, you know, I suppose the away goal scenario means they've got to get something from the game. They've got to come out for the game. Will they build on a defensive base as in the first game and try and counter and play off the big man? They might do. Will they open up the pitch a bit more? They might do. We don't know. You know, it'll be interesting to see. We're aware of what they've done against us. We're aware of what they've done in pre-season and how they're looking. But really, the focus remains on us, because, you know, if we get our performance levels right, we've shown that we can certainly apply ourselves to the Premier League last season, being the main view of that, which in turn means we should be at least able to supply a good performance that will get us the right result against Aberdeen. But there's no guarantees. They're a good side. I thought they did a really good job at their place.
What are your thoughts on whether or not you might start Sam Vokes this time around?
Yeah, their thoughts.
Nothing other than that. I suppose it's a nice thing to have, isn't it? To have that consideration as to whether or not to.
Yeah, I think we've got a few now who, you know, the good side about it is we're pushing sort of 4 90-minutes in the players, and that's a good place to be, you know, fitness-wise. And with the Montpellier game, we had a diluted pack, so we're still carrying a few injuries, but that means the players that did play have got another 90 minutes in. So, you know, at the moment, without the injuries, or with the injuries being considered, the rest of the players are in actually they're actually fitter at an earlier stage of pre-season than they normally would be. Because by now we'd probably be looking at 90s. You know, maybe the Montpellier game would be some for some players normally that would be their first 90, but they'll be hitting their fourth 90. So you know, we're pleased with that as a collective view. But we have got some injuries within that, and of course we were hoping to have some bodies in the building earlier than what's happening at the moment.
Where are you in terms of the other injuries at the moment? How are things looking?
Well, Robbie's we're having to be careful with. He came off the other day, but a bit more common sense than anything. He had just a tiny niggle on his hamstring, so we're going to let that settle down, but nothing too major, and that sometimes happens when you've been out for a while. Stephen's been a bit delayed with a minor calf injury, so that's settling down. Tom's touch and go when he joins back in. They're the immediate three, and you know, and as I said, we obviously last year we did lose two players or recognise first team players in Dean Marnie and Scott Arfield, so we were hoping to have bodies in, and we haven't got that so far.
Did Aberdeen surprise you in any way at Pittodrie?
No, not really. We've done quite a lot of homework on them. We know they'd earned the right to finish second last season and done a good job within that, and the last 3 or 4 years done very well, probably 5 years actually, done very well. So there was no surprise. You know, we certainly have always been aware of what we are. You know, we've never thought we're the real deal. We know we have to earn everything we get, and that includes playing against Aberdeen because they're a good side. So, no, I thought they gave a good account of themselves. You know, used the home feel well, I thought. You know, the crowd and the way the crowd were up for it and that sort of thing. We want to make that a different feeling in our own stadium, of course.
Would it be fair to say, though, that all of the pressure, if not the majority of the pressure, is with Burnley?
Pressure in what sense?
Expectation.
Oh, well, that comes and goes. You know, I'm not really bothered about that. I've never been too bothered about that. You know, it's more our own expectation that counts. The outside expectation is always there for any club for whatever reasons they deem fit. Ours is about us. You know, we have a big expectation on ourselves. You know, even though we haven't reinforced so far, this is a group of players who finished 7th in the Premier League on merit last year. So we know there's some good players. It's gluing it all together and getting back to a good performance level, which we weren't far off against Aberdeen. There was moments of real quality. Certainly some signs of what we can do. Statistically, a very, very strong performance. Although everyone, or the people in here are regulars with me, they know that I'm not a zealot to stats. You know, the biggest stat is the one when the goal goes in one end and don't go in the other. And that's the one we concentrate on. Yeah,
I suppose with regards to the expectation, I'm talking about just the disparity in finance in the leagues, the quality.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the way it is. That's life, you know. But I've been at lesser clubs, and I'm at one now, you know. That, you know, I think they mentioned about their budget against ours, although they were misquoted. Ours was 60, it's actually 37. But you know, when you look at the reality of it, what do you think we feel when we're playing Man City? But we still take them on. We still make a game of it. We still go and challenge for it. So, like I say, numbers go out the window when the whistle blows.
Is that a different challenge mentally going into a game like this, perhaps with the favourites tag for the first time in a long time?
We've had a little bit of that, because don't forget last season, as the season went on, there was a little bit more. I don't think it's a regular thing. Favourites is probably a bit too powerful, but I think there was games when people sort of looked at us as the season went on last season and thought, well, you know, with a fair performance, they've got a better chance of winning that than they normally have. I don't think too many out-and-out favourites. And the one thing for sure about this idea of favourites is a cup competition. Cup competitions, they are different. No one can ever quite define why. Actually, when you speak to loads of different managers, you know, across the board, no one can ever quite define why it feels different, and sometimes why players perform different than in the league. But it seems to happen. Our focus is the idea of just performing whatever we come across, whether it's a friendly, whether it's a main game, whether it's a cup game, whether it's a league game. We've been trying to get that automaticity, which just supplies the team with a chance to just perform all the time. So that's what we work towards.
You mentioned earlier on that your Burnley are a wealthy club. Looking down from Scotland, the numbers seem astronomical, but it appears that it's a club that's managed to retain its soul. Is that something that you're very aware of, something the club's very aware of?
Well, that's the idea of managing in a certain way. I mean, don't forget, we're wealthy in view of this game. We're not wealthy in the Premier League. Everyone in the Premier League is looking down on us and going, how are they not spending? How are they not doing this? How come they only have that wage bill? So we're actually the minnows of the Premier League. So it's all relative to wherever you are. But no, we're wealthy in the sense of a balanced club, you know, financially. Not pots of money, but just well balanced, well financed, well in good shape for each season that comes up. Certainly the next few, that's for sure. The challenge to that, forgetting about the game against Aberdeen, the challenge to that for us as a company and as a football business is still trying to be successful And the best way of doing that is to recruit well. And that's been a real challenge this summer. It's been as tough as it's ever been, because the numbers are just through the roof and no one really cares about it. The business models of most clubs are out the window anyway. So it's just kind of like free-for-all. Good.
Okay, FTV.
Nervous.
Wasn't this many hours Sunday. I think it's different. What's going on? Burnley in Europa League. Yeah, we were. You're going to leave Fraser, yeah?
Yeah, okay. Hi, Matt. You all right?
Yeah.
First of all, recently signed a new contract. How does that feel?
Yeah, very good, yeah. I loved it since I've joined, so happy to sign for another 3 years. Yeah.
Been here for quite a while. You've seen the club develop enormously. How exciting is it to be part of what looks like a really interesting project?
It's very exciting. Like I said, since I've joined, I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's gone from strength to strength. We've improved year on year, and that's what we keep looking to move forward.
Particular highlight, I guess, to be playing in Europe.
Yeah, definitely. When I joined, probably wouldn't have thought it was going to happen. We try and improve year on year, and keep laying markers down and improving. So to finish 7th in the Premier League was massive, and like you say, to be involved in Europe is great on a personal level and for the club as well. Interesting first leg. Are you expecting something sort of similar at Turf Moor this time? Yeah, we know that they'll be bang up for it again like they were last week, and they'll try and make it difficult for us to play, sit in and try and hit us on the counter, which they did quite well last week. So it's going to be another difficult game. Yeah. You must be gutted for Nick Pope. Yeah, definitely. Had a fantastic season. Obviously, he went away with England. Just the reward he deserved for the season that he had. So it's unfortunate to come back in and get an injury like that. Hopefully he'll be back playing soon enough. No concerns about having Anders Lindegaard behind you there? No, not at all. No, we're lucky to have some great keepers at this club. Like we have in every position, really. We got a lot of strength in depth. So he came on the other night, made a couple of great saves, and he's confident. He's obviously grown up at Man United, so he's not many better places to learn your trade. So no worries at all. And are you lucky as well in the sense that you've got Tom Heaton there waiting in the wings to take over as well when he's fully fit? Yeah, like I say, we've got a lot of depth in the squad. So when everyone's fully fit, we've got whoever goes out there, it's going to be a tough team.
What did you learn from Aberdeen in that first leg, do you think? Very what's the word? Very set up very well. Sorry, they made it hard for us to break them down. Probably like we've done to a lot of teams over the last few years as well. So we know they're going to come and do a similar sort of thing tomorrow night. So it's going to be a difficult game. Did they surprise you in any way? No, we were ready for it. I wouldn't say we were surprised, but they definitely lived up to what we expected them to do. It was always going to be difficult. We were going up there under no illusions that we were going to have a tough tie, and it's going to be the same again tomorrow night. So hopefully we can come out on top. Would it be fair to say that all the pressure is on Burnley tomorrow night? I'm not sure. We're going into the game. We've got the away goal, so they've got to come out and they've got to score a goal. So going to our place, it's a tough place to come for any team, as we've proved over, certainly the last 3 years since I've been here. So I suppose similar pressures on both teams really to try and get through to the next leg. I suppose the point I'm making is because of the financial disparity, because of the gulf in quality in terms of the leagues, there's a greater expectation on Burnley, isn't there? Yeah, I think the expectation is growing on us all the time. Obviously, the last few seasons that we've had have built that, but that's what we play for. The expectations there for us to go out and to live up to it.
Any more TVs, guys? Cameras off, folks. Thank you.